What are your thoughts about the situation with Iran and Houthi rebels?
This is another instance of enabling bad actors leads to more chaos. And this was highly predictable from the outset of the war if you sort of understand what's going on. So you have to understand that the Houthi rebels are an Iranian proxy or an IRGC proxy. The Hezbollah is an Iranian proxy. Hamas is an Iranian proxy. Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hashd al-Shaabi in Iraq, and so on and so forth. So after the Israel-Gaza war started, what is the MO of the Islamic Republic of Iran is always to push and push and push and try and find the limit, what they're allowed to get away with. The best example of this was 2020, when their Hezbollah proxies attacked the U.S. Embassy in Iraq, and in response, Donald Trump took out Qasem Soleimani, their top general, a huge blow to the regime. They wanted to retaliate, but they attacked a U.S. base, but they called Switzerland to warn the Americans that they were going to attack them before because they were scared to kill Americans because they knew there'd be consequences. But they had to do something, and then they shot down a Ukrainian airliner, PS-752, full of Canadian citizens, some Ukrainians, a lot of their own people, to sort of push the narrative away, but no Americans were on that plane. In fact, Americans were taken off the plane before they shot it down. Contrast that to right now, where you have, at the outset of the war, what did the Islamic Republic do? They want to see what they can get away with and push the line and push the line. So the proxies in Iraq and in Syria launched nearly 100 attacks on American personnel in the region. It's resulted in 2 responses from the Americans to really low-level targets. And the Iranians learned, oh, this isn't the red line. Where is the red line? So they decided to escalate. The next thing is the Houthis. So another proxy, they started to attack ships in the Red Sea. And the Americans can't get a coalition together to actually stop the Houthis. So they're going to go, okay, what's the next line? So I would predict that they're going to start ramping up uranium enrichment and push for the bomb under Biden, because I think Biden's shown that he is not willing to do anything about the regime. He still lives in this fantasy land of 2015, and the JCPOA is going to save us if we give the regime everything they want, if we give them nuclear weapons, and if we give them intercontinental ballistic missiles to launch nuclear weapons, they will love us and become moderates. It's an insane thought. It's proven to be wrong over and over and over again, yet the foreign policy cadre within the Obama-Biden core cannot abandon this thought for some reason. So the IRGC, the Iranians, you will find they're going to keep pushing unless you listen, if you want to stop them, move a destroyer into the Red Sea and blow up some Houthi infrastructure. And every time the Houthis try and do something, they should lose 10 times the amount of weapons and personnel and assets than they do in the attack. This will stop it, right? You have to put a stopper to this, but Biden doesn't want to do this because, again, he wants to be this fictional peacemaker. And a lot of the people inside his administration are pro-regime Iranian spies anyway. I mean, the Iran Experts Initiative was exposed as there actually are people with State Department security clearances who are taking orders from the IRGC and communicating state secrets to the Iranians, and they have not been removed. We have definitive proof that we have Iranian spies with security clearance, and this was before October 7th. Nothing was done before that, and nothing has been done after that. This is, again, the weakness of the Biden administration to assert American dominance into the world, and chaos is ensuing, and it's emboldening the Russians, the Iranians, the Chinese, all the enemies of the West, and it's bad. And if we want it to stop, someone has to do something to stop it. But there seems to be no will from the Biden administration to stop any of this. They seem to think that if they can pressure the Israelis into a 2-state solution and create a Palestinian state run by terrorists in Gaza and the West Bank, and if we have this super terrorist state, this will somehow calm down the region. And it's fanciful thinking.